When you're starting out, you might be having this question: should I start with international POD or just go with Indian print on demand? So if that's you, like, this video is actually for you. So this video is all about my experience when I tried Indian and international POD. So let's dive in. So let's dive in, and today we're going to look into three topics, which is dark sides of Indian print on demand, how Indian print on demand is different from US print on demand, and also I'm going to give you a next action step you need to take. All right, so let's jump into the mind map and let's discuss what are the dark sides of Indian print on demand. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 points. First one is cash on delivery dominated. Okay, COD dominated. So if you look at the Indian market, it is like 90%, it is like 90% of the people or 95% of the people, they try to opt for cash on delivery rather than prepaid orders. All right, so because of that, you need huge capital to start an Indian print on demand business. Okay, and another thing is that, like, not every cash on delivery orders are not gonna be a successful delivery. All right, so there will be people who like, when they receive the product, when the delivery boy delivers the product at the customer, like, they will tell, like, I don't want the product, please return it. So the delivery boy, they will be happy to return it to us, to the warehouse, right? So that is a big issue. The second one is high return rate. Okay, since it is cash on delivery dominated and that seriousness of people is actually not there, because of that you might face high return rate, right? So in an average, 90% of the orders are actually on cash on delivery, and if you look at the return rate in India, it is actually like 40 to 50% actually in return rate, right? So which will eat up a lot of profits. And the third one is like thin margins. So if you look at Indian print on demand, so there are only few suppliers who are actually doing this, and not only that, if you look at the cost of a particular t-shirt, so it is actually coming around 300 rupees actually. Okay, 300 rupees for printing, shipping, everything. Let's assume that the cost of a t-shirt is actually 300 rupees. So if you look at the ideal selling price of a t-shirt, it is actually coming around like 500 or 600 or maximum 700 rupees, right? So now within that time, like, you need to so within that profit margin, you need to bear the cost of the Facebook ads, you need to Shopify fees, like a lot of other charges are actually there. So when you look at it, is actually like very thin margin. And not only that, if let's say if an order is actually if there is an unsuccessful order actually coming up, or let's say a customer placed an order, cash on delivery order, and you pay the supplier shipped the product directly to your customer, right? So their customer is saying that I don't want the product, please return it. So what is actually happening is that you are losing the shipping charges from the supplier, okay, from the supplier to the customer and back to the supplier, right? So you are actually losing, let's say if you want to ship a t-shirt, like, let's assume that the shipping charge is actually 50 rupees. So you are actually losing 50 plus 50 in because of an unsuccessful delivery, right? So that is gonna eat up all your profit. And now let's look at the fourth one. So fourth one is cash flow. Like I said, it is mostly like 90% of your orders is gonna be cash on delivery. Because of that, you need to have a huge cash flow, then only you will be able to sustain in the POD game, in Indian POD game, right? So mainly you're gonna get affected with the unsuccessful cash on delivery orders. And also, like, not only that, the cash on delivery amount time gap is there. So basically, let's say I came to your website, places an order as a cash on delivery order. So basically you're gonna transfer the order to a supplier, pay the cost of the t-shirt, okay, then the supplier is gonna ship it directly to me, right? So now it will take around, let's say, 7 or 10 days. Now I make the payment to the delivery boy, and it will take again like almost like 1 week to reflect in your bank account. So it is actually taking around like almost 2 weeks to reflect that amount in your bank account. So in order to sustain that time gap, you need huge capital or huge cash flow. And the third one is like require huge capital. Like I said, you need huge capital or huge cash flow to sustain in the POD game, Indian POD game. And the fifth one is invest more time. Okay, invest more time, because not everybody is going to CTS. The people who are actually placing any cash on delivery, they're not serious in the product or in buying from you, right? So you need to spend a lot of time in confirming the cash on delivery orders to make sure that it is not a spam, like scam or something like that. Like a lot of people try to just spam you by placing like a random cash on delivery orders. So you need to confirm the cash on delivery orders either by calling or sending SMS, like a lot of stuff, right? So it is going to eat up more time, and also managing the returns. So you need to invest more time if you are starting an Indian print on demand business, right? So now let's compare Indian print on demand versus US POD, right? So first one is, like, if you look at orders in US, it is 100% prepaid. It is 100% prepaid. There is no system, there is not something called cash on delivery. So you get the money from the customers upfront, then only from that money only you need to pay to a supplier. If you look at India, it is, like I said, it is cash on delivery dominated market, right? So you, first of all, you need to pay the supplier, then only the customer is going to pay to you. So there is a huge difference, right? So in US, like, you don't need a huge capital or a huge cash flow, but in India you need to have a very huge capital or a cash flow backup to sustain in the business. And if you look at the second one, which is the return rates, in US, very less return rate, because like most of the orders are actually 100% prepaid. So because of that, you can like the seriousness of people who are buying from you is really high. So because of that, you face very less return rate, because they know that they need to pay first, then only they're gonna get the product. So they will be more serious. But if you look at India, like I said, an average 40 to 50% is actually return to origin, right? So that seriousness is not actually there, because they don't need to pay anything. They need to pay only once they receive the product, right? And third one is margins. Okay, so if you look at US, the margins are very high. Like when comparing with India, like if you are someone who's selling t-shirt, margins are really high when comparing with selling t-shirts in India, right? So in India, it is very thin margin, right? So it is not, it will take a lot of efforts, lot of time, lot of capital to become profitable with Indian POD. And the third one is time. In US, you need to spend only 1 to 2 hours on a daily basis let's break it down. So let's say you want to spend like 45 minutes on Facebook ads, or let's say 30 minutes on customer support, or managing the Facebook page, all this stuff, right? So Shopify orders, everything. So it will hardly take like 1 to 2 hours on a daily basis. You just need to spend only, if you are only 1 to 2 hours on a daily basis, if you are really into US POD. But if you are someone who is doing in India, you need to invest more time, because first of all, you need to review the Facebook ads. You need to do all the customer support emails and everything. You need to do telephonic confirmation to make sure that the COD orders are actually like the genuine ones. And you need to manage returns. So it's gonna eat up a lot of time. You need a lot of time to if you're someone who is doing to Indian POD. Right, so this is actually the comparison which I felt personally when I shifted from Indian POD to US POD. So when I was starting out, like, I was into Indian POD, and I worked hard for almost 6 months to make it happen. But every single day it was actually like huge loss. Like I was losing a lot of money on every single day. So then when I shifted to US, I saw a like major difference, because I don't need to worry about the cash on delivery orders. I don't need to worry about the cash flow issues. I don't need to worry about the managing returns. And I got a lot of leverage, and the time I was actually spending on the business actually reduced a really lot. So that's why, and also most importantly, margins are high in US. So that's why, like, I don't recommend Indian POD. So if you're someone who's starting out, or if you're on a budget, just go. I would highly recommend you to go with US POD. So if you are someone who has a lot of budget, lot of investment to put in, then you can definitely go with Indian POD. So that's my recommendation. And I would like to show you a next action step you can take, is that if you're someone who really want to start your international print on demand business, then I would like to invite you to my 2-hour workshop, which is happening on every Sunday. So I will drop the link in the description. Just click on it and register for the next workshop, and I will see you in the workshop. And also you can follow me on the Instagram, and if you have any queries, or if you need, like if you're stuck at any point, you can just let me know in the DMs, and I'll happy to help you there as well. So that's it for this video, and I hope you got some value from this particular video, and I hope you to see you soon in the next video. Thank you.